an 8-9, big 14-15 bangle bracelet is a 12, and then a little piece of gold in jewelry mode is a 3-4. So guys, if you want those little pieces of jewelry, those little gold earrings, little gold pendants, you got to dig those low numbers. You're going to be battling with a lot of aluminum foil, but if you don't want to miss the gold, you just got to dig it. So we're going to be burying these guys probably, I don't know, a few inches deep, and we'll get right back to you. All right, we're going to dig a little hole for these targets here. Like I said, nothing crazy. This isn't going to be a depth test. This is just going to show you basically how numbers change once they get under the ground. Once the target gets under the ground at depth, the numbers start to change up on you a little bit. With the Vanquish, I found it actually holds ID fairly well at depth. I was testing that mercury dime in one of my previous videos, and that thing was just pretty much locking on to those high numbers, and I think it was probably 6 or 7 inches down there. So let's see if it will repeat with the gold, shall we? We do have a tape measure with us just to get an idea of how deep this hole is going to be. And you know, this isn't quite a real world test because, as we all know, once targets sit in the ground and kind of settle in, it's just not the same as burying a target like this and swinging over it. But like I said, this is just a general test, so let's get right into it, shall we? We're going to do this guy first right here, the little 10-karat gold ring. She's a beauty. This was my first piece of gold I ever found. I found this with a Garrett Ace 200. Garrett Ace 200. So, you know, you don't need the biggest and baddest metal detector to find stuff. It's really about those numbers and what numbers you choose to dig. So let's do this real quick. That's actually fairly deep in there. 6 inches? Should we try it down at 6 inches? This is more like 5 inches right here. All right, so approximately 5 inches down. We're just going to try the rings flat. That's another thing. If you put a ring, if a ring is in the hole like this, you know, facing upwards and it's not flat, it's going to ring differently. So orientation, the type of gold, the size of the gold, there's so many variations that there's no way to say, you know, a 13 is going to be gold or a 12. I feel like gold can fall pretty much in every single number up to, I don't know, maybe 20, maybe higher. I'm not entirely sure. I'm still new to the hobby, and, you know, I'm figuring all this stuff out myself, and with help, of course, from the YouTubers and their tests. So I just wanted to pass on a little bit of this information to you guys, and let's stop talking and get into it, huh? So that guy's in there, like I said, about 5 inches deep. This is not an official depth test. This is just some general testing. We're going to pack it down in there. Pack it down real nice in there. Maybe even stomp over it. No trickery here, all in one cut, or one scene rather. Move the shovel a little bit further away. Now let's just see. We'll try it out in relic mode first. Let's try it in relic mode just because I'm curious. The relic mode was hitting on the gold ring well, so it should pick it up. Let's see, sensitivity wise, we usually run it just stock. I think it's like 2 or 3 bars down from the top. Now let's swing over it, huh? And looky there, guys. That's a gold, 10-karat gold ring, about 5 inches down in relic mode, and it's slapping it. A solid 8. It is not moving at all. Rotate around the target a little bit there. It's just hitting it really well overall. So let's go to jewelry mode. Jewelry mode's just as good, if not better. Solid 8 all the way around the hole. I saw a 1 in there, but it's an 8 99% of the time. So like I said, you got to dig those low tones, guys. Let's bury the next one, shall we? So that was this little tiny 10-karat gold ring at about 5 inches down. I'd say it did really well. That's up to you to decide, but you know, the numbers stayed solid. It wasn't jumping around too much. So on to the next one. Here's our next gold ring. This one's a lot chunkier, and also it's the shape of this one. You notice this one's pretty much perfect circle. Beep, cut that out. This one's pretty much, you know, a circular object, so it should ring pretty solid overall. This one, on the other hand, you know, it's a little bit of an odd shape, so we'll see how that affects the readings. Put this one down just as deep, about 5 inches down, flat in the hole. Bury it up. It's a nice thick iced out one. We'll stomp it down a little bit. There you go. Grab the old Vanquish. Try it in relic mode first.